In the age before memory, when mountains still breathed fire and the sea had not yet tasted its own depths, a queen rose among the deathless. Her name carried the weight of storms and the promise of oaths. Hera, sovereign of Olympus, guardian of sacred vows, protector of every hearth where families gathered. She was not merely a goddess. She was the spine of divine order, the thunderless authority beside the throne of Zeus. And though poets would fear her wrath, and mortals whisper her name with trembling reverence, the truth of Hera is older, deeper, and far more powerful than legend ever dared to tell. She are a queen of the gods. Long before Hera wore her crown, the cosmos trembled beneath the might of the Titans. From the union of Cronus, devourer of his own offspring, and Rhea, the earth-gentle mother of gods, she came into being. Hera was born in the shadow of tyranny, her first cries echoing within the cold chambers of Mount Othrys. But like her siblings, she was fated to be swallowed whole by Cronus, who feared the rise of his own blood. Yet destiny, cunning as ever, wove a path toward freedom. Zeus, the youngest and hidden child, returned years later to free his brothers and sisters. From the Titan's belly, Hera emerged, reborn into light, tempered by darkness. Alongside Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Demeter, and Hestia, she joined in the war that would shake the foundations of the universe, the Titanomachi. Hera was no passive figure in this rebellion. Though the Tales often silence her role, the ancient hymns speak of her sharp mind, her commanding presence, and her fierce loyalty to her divine kin. When the Titans fell and the age of the Olympians began, Hera ascended to her rightful place, not merely as a goddess among many, but as the matriarch of a new cosmic order. As Queen of Olympus, Hera embodied sovereignty, woven with compassion, justice tempered with severity. Her domain stretched over marriage, fidelity, childbirth, and the sanctity of family, the very pillars upon which mortal society stood. Where Zeus commanded thunder, Hera commanded loyalty. Where other gods ruled with spectacle, she ruled with order. Her powers were subtle, yet profound. She could bless unions with harmony, or unravel them with divine displeasure. She watched over women in labor, guiding new life into the world. Her presence was felt in every ritual oath, every solemn promise spoken before the gods. She carried the authority of a queen who upheld cosmic law, not through brute force, but through inevitability. What Hera declared sacred became sacred for all time. Her symbols reflected this duality: the regal peacock with its thousand-eyed feathers, the cow of nurturing gentleness, the lotus staff held in graceful authority. In every temple built in her honor, incense rose not in fear alone, but in recognition of her timeless guardianship over the fragile bonds that kept humanity whole. Among the countless tales woven through Hera's long dominion, none burned brighter than the story of her rivalry with the great goddess of beauty, Aphrodite, or the many trials born of Zeus' unbound desires. But perhaps her most defining tale is one of rebellion, resolve, and the delicate balance of power upon Olympus. There was a time when even gods questioned the rule of Zeus. His temper shook the sky, his thunder echoing across the earth. Hera, ever the guardian of justice, confronted the imbalance. Some legends say she stood alone. Others claim she conspired with Poseidon, Athena, and Apollo to restrain Zeus and bring reason back to the throne. The plan was daring. They would bind the king of gods in unbreakable chains while he slept. And for a time, victory seemed theirs. The thunder fell silent. The storm was subdued. But when Zeus awoke to betrayal, the heavens cracked with fury. The gods fled in terror, all except Hera, who stood firm even in punishment. Zeus seized her with unyielding wrath and hung her in the sky with golden chains, leaving her suspended between heaven and earth. The winds tore at her, the stars burned cold around her, yet she did not cry out. Moved not by fear, but by loyalty, her son Hephaestus attempted to free her. In some versions, he was cast from Olympus for his defiance. In others, his compassion softened Zeus's heart. Regardless of the telling, Hera's endurance is remembered as the turning point. She was released, not defeated, but reaffirmed. The myth reminds us that Hera's strength was never the violence of storms. It was the endurance of stone, the resolve of queens who bend but do not break. A power quiet yet immeasurable, shaping Olympus as surely as thunder shaped the sky. Hera's legacy is carved into the foundations of ancient Greek life. As the divine protector of marriage and motherhood, she became the unseen witness to every sacred union. Her festivals, the Heraia, were some of the oldest celebrations in Greece, predating even the Olympic Games. Women honored her not out of mere obligation, but because they saw in her the embodiment of dignity, perseverance, and the eternal struggle to preserve harmony within family and community. Her symbols carried layered meaning. The peacock represented vigilance, a reminder of Argus, the faithful, hunger-eyed guardian whose loyalty she immortalized. The diadem upon her brow marked her authority. The scepter she held symbolized unwavering justice. And the wedding veil, often associated with her rites, connected divine marriage to mortal life. Through centuries of myth and worship, Hera became more than the stern queen portrayed in later stories. She emerged as the eternal matriarch, a figure of devotion, complexity, fierce protection, and silent resilience. She represented the balance between love and duty, the weight of responsibility, and the timeless sanctity of promises that bind one soul to another. And so, Hera endures, not merely as a goddess of old, but as a reminder of the forces that shape worlds both divine and mortal. Her story whispers through the quiet vows made at twilight, through the laughter of families gathered around the hearth, through the resilience of those who hold their lives together despite storms. In her, we glimpse the ancient truth that even the cosmos survives through bonds, fragile, sacred, eternal. And Hera, queen of Olympus, guards those bonds still.